Everybody. Thanks for joining us for our Fireside Chat, first one of 2015, or excuse me, second one of 2015. Appreciate everybody taking time to join us. We've got a lot of cool stuff we're going to be talking about, again, keeping in line with unparalleled experiences for more youth and an emphasis in particular on our Cub Scouts. So today we're going to talk about some programming going on at Camp Cedars. I'll talk a little bit about our Scoutmaster dinners and some of the things we're going to do a little differently this summer with our Scoutmasters. We'll have some Cub program updates and recaps to some of the webinars, Cub Day Camps, our very important district dinners that should be occurring here in the first quarter, some training updates, scouting for food, a little bit of popcorn in terms of Nebraska experience. I'll go over a little bit on the Webelos-to-Scout transition program, investment in character. John will cover show and tell with Sheila, which we all enjoy and look forward to. And finally, I'll wrap it up with some comments around Journey to Excellence and how our council is performing. So to start us off, we'll have Don Nagel come join us at the webcam, if you will, and also on the phone as well. So something just happened with our web camera here, so we're gonna get that back online. And Don, take it away. Talk to us about Camp Cedars summer programs.
Okay, thank you, Eric. It's hard to believe given the weather outside, but camp starts in just 4 months. Here's just a few items I'd like to share. One is we started a 75th anniversary Facebook page on Friday, and it's been so far it's been fairly successful. We'd like you to invite you to like it and check back often to follow our progress and send us pictures and comments and what you'd like to see us do this summer. We're planning something to do every week at camp, and then anything else you may like as well. The week 4 registration will be open shortly. Week 4 is 4th of July week, and it's going to be different this year. We're going to, you check in on Sunday and you leave on Thursday, and it's 3 solid days of program. We're going to include wilderness first aid, BSA and Red Cross lifeguard, paddleboard and kayaking BSA, and we're offering specialty merit badges taught by professionals in their field, not by normal camp staff members. And these will include medicine, engineering, and law. There's also a 3-day horse program and a 3-day cope and tower program. This will be available for Scouts 13 and older. In addition, I'd like to introduce Natalie Anderson, who will be our handicraft director, and Nick Mefford, who will be our nature director this year. We're still looking for cope and climbing leadership and many additional staff applicants. So if you're a teacher, a college student, or a scout, you're all great candidates for camp, and we encourage you to apply and get paid for what you'd love to do. Thank you.
Things we always do that many of you will know if you've been out to summer camp is we typically do a Scoutmaster dinner, steak dinner. Sometimes we have shrimp. There was even talk of lobster at one point. But we get our Scoutmasters together as an opportunity to say thanks for coming out and spending the week with us. Also to share some updates on our council and some upcoming activities or events or programs that we're in the middle of. And also give an opportunity for some feedback from our Scoutmasters that are there at summer camp. And one of the things that I've heard over the years is, you know, Eric, we rarely see our board members. We don't see our council leadership very often unless our troop is fortunate enough to have a member of the board who's also a member of their troop. So one of the things we're going to try this summer is we're actually going to have board members, at least 4, that are going to join us each week on that Wednesday afternoon to actually cook the stakes, and then have dinner with our Scoutmasters. And so it's been very well received. Our board has basically signed up for all the slots at this point. Different members of the board, they're going to come out and spend a couple hours cooking steaks and having dinner with our Scoutmasters. So we hope you look forward to that. This should be fun, and it's an opportunity to get to know some of our board representatives as well. So with that said, Mike Ivano is going to give us an update on program changes and webinars related to our Cub Scout that's rolling out here quickly. So Mike.
Thanks, Eric. Good afternoon, everybody. Kind of move from my traditional updates as far as Cub camping. Obviously, our registration is still open, so feel free to sign up early, sign up often for all of our Cub camping programs. But I'm going to shift gears a little bit about something that I've hinted at throughout the last few firesides, which are the updates that we're going to be experiencing this year for the Cub Scout program. Now, as most of you know, those things take effect June 1st, and in preparation for that, the National BSA put out a series of webinars this past month, January 17th. They went live on the program changes website on scouting.org, and they covered a few basic details around what you can expect to see in the new program updates for Cub Scouting. Now, those of you who have kept kind of up to date on things and information as it was coming out, a lot of it probably didn't seem very new to most of you, but I pulled a couple really interesting details off of them that I figured I'd share here, and then encourage everybody to go out there and check them out for themselves. First of all, I was kind of surprised to see that they really opened up with a summary of the history of Cub Scouting. And what I really pulled from that is that for anybody who's going, why are they changing the program? Frankly, there have been changes almost every 10 years in the Cub Scouting program since the 1930s. So this is not a new thing. Changes to the program happen all the time. And that kind of put it all into a context as to what we can expect to see in this new program. Again, as they went through the webinars for both Cub Masters and Den Leaders, they stressed the fact that really the concept here was to simplify and streamline program delivery. Now, simplify doesn't mean make it easier by any means. A lot of the new requirements are actually a little bit more challenging than what we saw in previous iterations of requirements in Cub Scouting. But the simplification comes with a streamlined approach so that whether you're a Tiger Cub or a Webelos Scout working toward Arrow of Light, you're actually going to be experiencing a similar kind of program along that way, completing similar kinds of tasks with increasing difficulty throughout each age. So we won't have a sudden shift as you move into the Webelo program where now you're earning pins where previously you were in belt loops. The program is set up so that all through the ranks, you're really doing the same kinds of things. Speaking of Webelos, one of really important updates there is that scouts who are going to be a second-year Webelo here during June of 2015 will actually have a choice. They won't have to suddenly shift over to the new requirements and thereby kind of nullifying the things that they worked on during their first year Webelo years. They'll actually be able to work toward their Arrow of Light using the old requirements, or they can shift over to the new. A Webelos Den who is going to have second year Webelos will have that option, and the printed materials coming out from National will help support that option along the way. And finally, something that I pulled out of the webinars that I had not seen elsewhere, and maybe I had just missed it, but there's some pricing changes as far as the cost of belt loops specifically. It looks like, in fact, belt loops will cost about 50 cents less than they do right now. So that's always good news as we look into a program change, that they aren't going to be increasing the pricing any more than it is right now. The pins themselves will be the same price, so no increase there, but the belt loops will be 50 cents cheaper, so that's kind of cool. I really encourage everybody to go out to scouting.org and check out these webinars for yourself. They've also got a lot of printed materials, including a full summary of all of the requirements for all ranks, Tiger through Webelo and into Arrow of Light. One last thing that I discovered over the weekend that I thought was kind of fun, as I started here talking about the fact that change is not only inevitable, but it's really part of the growth of a program, I discovered this weekend that we're not the only program out there that is doing some changes in 2015. I also noticed that the British scouting movement has a whole set of updates to their program happening in 2015. So everybody is making progress here, and I'm excited to see how we can put these new changes into action. And now I guess I'll actually segue over to Jordan Hunter. Jordan's on the phone with us from Sioux City. He's going to be giving us an update on day camp programs in all of our districts. Jordan?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to talk a little about day camp, starting with a timeline. I sent out an email to all the day camp directors, or program directors, prospector, or already accepted the job with the job description and a timeline. And so I think it's important to go first with the timeline to let them know and remind folks what we should be ready for. So we're looking at February 17th as our next meeting. The draft of their camp standards book will due March 16th. Their March meeting is then the next day, March 17th, kind of reported. Final version of standards book is April 20th, and then the next day is our next meeting, which is April 21st. And then supply orders due if your camp is in June. It's going to be by May 1st, by noon. They have to have all their orders in if your camp is in June. And then t-shirt and patch orders deadline for camps in June is May 10th. May meeting is May 19th. Supply orders for those in July then would be June 1st, so they have that month ahead of time. T-shirt and patch order June 10th as well. And then August 17th, we're hoping to have kind of a turn in all of your information. And then the following day, we have a wrap-up meeting on August 18th. So that's kind of your timeline of the expectations from all of our different day camps. The closest date, I would say, is the February meeting, obviously, is the 17th. I really hope we can get everybody on the call and those that are prospect the actual in the job by the time we have this phone call. But then the next kind of deadline for everybody would be to have their draft of their standards book, which is on March 16th. So, National Camp School, the closest one to us is March 6th through the 8th, and that is in the Heartland Center, Parkville, and Missouri. So that's March 6th through the 8th. I will be there, and we will be taking care of those that are going from our council. It looks like the council will pay for registration, which at the event includes room and board, but for cost for travel, that's on the individual this year. If you want a full list of dates, if you can't make that one specifically, you can go to NCS, BoyScoutsAmerica.org, or NCXBSA.org. I know we have some information on our council's website as well, and you can download the 2015 information, and it'll have a full list of dates. So that if you wanted to go somewhere else, but again, travel would be on your own. So that's about all I have for day camp. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, now I'm going to pass it on to Scott Hansen, who's going to talk a little bit about district dinners.
Cool. Thank you, Mike and Jordan. Just as the city of Boston will be recognizing their New England Patriots tomorrow with a victory parade. Go Patriots. All right. Our districts actually use district dinners to help celebrate the accomplishments of not only their district, but also their best units and their best leaders, both on the district level and the unit level. This may be accomplishments due to Journey to Excellence, maybe leaders that need recognition or are nominated for recognition by their peers, and a whole plethora of different awards and recognitions that can be given out at that district dinner. The pinnacle of the dinner, if you have not been to one, is always the District Award of Merit, which is the highest award in scouting that can be presented at the district level. To make some of you aware of when some of these district dinners are, I'm going to read off the districts and the dates that are currently set, all of which can be found on the council calendar online, and many of which already have online registrations live, so you can actually register right now for your upcoming district dinner. But I'll read through them here quick. We have the Thundercloud District coming up first on February 7th, coming up here this weekend. the Trailblazer District on March 6th, the Twin Lakes District on March 7th, Pita Lasharo on March 14th, Owanasi on March 21st, the Diamond Dick District on April 7th, Soaring Eagle on April 11th, Wagon Wheel on March 7th. And if your district was not mentioned, check in with your district executive or your district leadership to find out when they're tentatively scheduling your dinner for, and maybe get on them to say, schedule it soon so I can go. But again, use these district dinners as a great way to recognize units, adults from your units or from your district, and help celebrate the accomplishments of all the generous and really dedicated volunteers we have out there in scouting. This program would not happen without these adults, so it is very important we take the time to recognize them and the spouses that let them be involved in scouting. And that's all I have for district dinners, so now I'll turn it over to Steve Lanni, who will talk a little bit about why we recognize these units with respect to the ideal year of scouting and Journey to Excellence.
Steve. Thank you, Scott. As I looked at my weather bug app on my phone, and it says 5 degrees here in Omaha, I keep thinking 17 more days, spring training, baseball. So let's get excited. It will get warm. I want to talk a little bit about, we got up in March, our roundtable during March. We have a couple of things coming up, pretty exciting stuff. We have our annual Ideal Year of Scouting training workshop. That's going to take place. It's whether your meetings are on March 3rd or 5th, if you're on a Tuesday or a Thursday cycle for your roundtables. And we got some exciting stuff. Our planning guide this year, which we're going to hand out, a brand new format. And the format this year, if you remember past books, we kind of touched upon the 6 steps to Ideal Year of Scouting, and we got into the planning and budgeting of your 12-month program. Well, we're going to take it a little step further. As you know, we all work very hard on the journey to excellence in all of our programs, whether we're Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts at a district level or at a council level. And so we've come up with a brand new format for the planning guide, and we're going to follow the 12 or 13 criteria of Journey to Excellence. So the book will not only cover the 6 steps of Ideal Year of Scouting, we're also going to go through what are those steps in our Journey to Excellence to make every unit in our council a gold status unit. We're going to highlight the 6 steps also, and we're also going to concentrate on helping our unit leaders create their 12-month planning calendar and also budgeting. And the clear part of that is, how do we budget and fundraise for those 12-month activities so all of our scouts can attend free? So what we're going to do now, and I just want to talk, we also have a couple of things going on. We're going to be handing out our camp cards during the roundtable of March. And we're also going to be, I guess, handing out our Scouting for Food door hangers. So please make sure you attend this very important training. As part of this, as you remember last year, our popcorn commissions were based on some attendance that you had during, we had to create a calendar. You had to come to a meeting at the March roundtable. And this year, it was an all or nothing last year. You either got 4% if you attended everything, or you didn't get an additional discount. This year, what we're going to do is, if you attend the training in the March roundtable, you're going to get an additional 1% commission on your popcorn. If you turn in your calendar and budget by June 1st, you're going to get another % for your popcorn commission. And lastly, if you have 2 people at the August popcorn training, you'll get 2% commission, 4% additional commission on your popcorn that you can obtain if you attend our March roundtable for the workshop and turn in our calendar in June, and in August go to the popcorn training that is happening. So we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. If any of you have not seen the 2015 Journey to Excellence sheets, I strongly suggest to go out there. They are simplified. It's going to be great to see all of our units, or as much as we can, achieve that gold status. So take a look at it, and we'll see you in March. Who's next? We got Charles Argo.
Thank you. By the way, Des Bryant did make that catch. So, shameless plug. I'm promoting Powderhorn. The time is this September, 25th through the 27th. Encourage all you troops and crews and even some Cub Scouters to look into the program. It's designed to help the troop crew or exposing older scouts, venturers, and adult leaders to safely conduct outdoor high adventure activities of a fun and challenging nature. It's going to provide you the resources needed to successfully lead youth through a program of outdoor adventure. And the presenters are going to be expert consultants from inside and outside of the scouting world. There are tentatively 18 to 23 different program sessions that are going to be offered. You will get a brief introduction to each one of those activities to take back to your units, promote to your troops and crews, say, guys, we can do this. Here are the resources. Again, time is now to start promoting it. It's open for adults and scouts 14 and above. There are some requirements. It is active and live on the website. So do go and register, and hope to see you there. Thank you.
Hey, Charles, before you leave us, when was the last time we offered a Powderhorn course?
As I understand, the last time we offered this course was 2005. So this is a 10-year anniversary for having the Powderhorn course.
So my guess is we don't have a lot of folks with Powderhorn.
We do not.
So this is a really cool training with awesome bragging rights.
It is. Again, like I said, the consultants, the experts in those fields, some of the areas that are going to be covered. Of course, you've got your shooting sports, geocaching, backpacking, your low cope events, canoeing, kayaking, scuba, wilderness survival, amateur and ham radio, fly fishing, fly tying, hiking, outdoor living history. Outdoor living history, we have the 1st Infantry Nebraska volunteer reenactors. They're a reenactment group from the Civil War, as well as Friends of the Fort Atkinson Museum up in Fort Atkinson. They're tentatively planning on coming and putting on some displays. These are all things that you can take back and your troops and crews can have a fun outdoor experience with.
And so along with the bragging rights, really, I mean, if you're into improving yourself and gaining knowledge and having cool skills that other people might not have, going through Powderhorn is going to put you kind of up at the top.
Right. And
selfishly speaking, you're going to learn some really cool things.
Sure. And Powderhorn isn't a certification course per se. It's there to give you the tools and give you the resources to go back to your units. You're going to have the knowledge that most people will not have the opportunity to know unless they are actively looking for these resources. And this is just kind of a shortcut, if you will, to finding these resources and making it a fun and effective program.
Thanks a lot. You can tell I'm pretty pumped you guys are offering this. Thank you. Erin's going to talk with us about scattered food and also a little bit on Nebraska.
Yes. So I'm just going to kind of start with a fact. Did you guys know that 1 in 5 children live in an insecure home? So if we take that and kind of put it in perspective, if you have 20 boys in your pack, that means 4 boys in your unit on average have no idea where their next meal is going to come from. But there's stuff we can do to help. Our scouting for food is set for August 11th. We will have our door hanger drop off, and then our food pickup will be on April 11th, and then our food pickup is going to be on April 18th. So it's the 2nd and 3rd Saturday in April. We're back one weekend due to Easter being that first Sunday in April. Our goal is to collect 25 food items per every registered scout. So if you have 20 boys in your unit, you want to try to shoot for collecting 500 items. However, if only 11 boys participate, you're going to want to still try to strive for that 500 item goal. So you would actually need to have 46 items per participating boy. But obviously we have a lot of scouts that collect way more than 25 items. So keep striving for that so they can help kind of offset maybe some of those boys who are not able to go out and collect those 25 items. We do have a commitment form in your roundtable packet for February, or you can go online. This commitment form is a way for us to know which of our units are going to be participating, and so we can properly order the right amount of patches, recognition items, ribbons, and door hangers as well, because we want to just make sure we don't have boxes of door hangers sitting around if they're not going to be used. We can make sure we order the proper amount and use our resources wisely. Door hangers are going to be dropped off at your March roundtable, like Steve said. So you're going to want to make sure you're there. And you're also going to be getting your unit toolkits, which kind of give a little detail into how to run a Scouting for Food drive if you're new or you've never done it before, how to get more parents involved, ways to incentivize the boys, etc. And then our thank you door hangers, the piece we added last year, is going to be handed out in your April roundtable. So just be sure that you keep separate your March door hangers and your April door hangers, because the April ones will be the thank you ones that will go out on the 18th. We don't want to get those switched up on accident. So just to recap, fill out your commitment form either online or in your roundtable packet by February 13th. And then make sure you attend that March roundtable to get your door hangers. And then the second and third Saturday, make sure your families understand the importance of the threat. We can help fight childhood hunger. Any questions on Scouting for Food? Somebody needs some water.
Directions. A scout comes out of nowhere, gives him directions, gets him to where he's trying to go, and declines the tip that he's willing to give for the directions. And that's what charted our course for service, right? And so we, as the Boy Scouts of America, as citizens, and as those of us that are fortunate enough to have resources, I think we have a moral and ethical obligation to make sure that people don't go hungry here in our town and in our country. So that's why Scouts are both Scouting for Food. That's why we partner up with the Pioneer Foundation and the food banks in Sioux City and also here in Omaha. And I just believe it's so important for us to do. And it's one of the promises we make to our parents is that their kids are going to get exposed to community service through Scouting. So let's all rally behind it. Let's go out there and make sure we don't have any hungry people walking around. So,
yep, and you also can get credit for it for Journey to Excellence too. So it's a full picture. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is we finally have our date for our Nebraska experience for all of our scouts who sold $1,500 or more in popcorn. We are going to the spring football game for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It is set for April 11th, which happens to be the first day for door hanger drop off, but that's okay. You can either drop off your door hangers earlier in the week, or you can do it before heading out to the football game. We are working on getting a registration set up. We are still waiting on the university, though, to set a time for the event. But we will have one scout, or a scout and one adult will be able to attend the event, but we will have extra tickets available for purchase as well. So as soon as we get a time, we will have that registration live, and we'll make sure all of our scouts who qualify are getting the memo to sign up. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Erin. Good job. I'm going to chat briefly about Webelos-to-Scout transition. One of the things, and we've talked about this before, one of the things that we see is that when a Cub Scout joins a Boy Scout troop and he goes to summer camp, he will more than likely remain in Boy Scouting much longer than a Cub Scout who joins a troop that does not attend summer camp that first summer. We know this empirically, and it's documented with data. So in order for a young man to go to summer camp with his troop, it's important that this young man have some involvement in the troop prior to going to summer camp. The parents become a little familiar with the troop leadership becomes familiar with the scout, and they can get a few camping trips under their belt together throughout the spring leading up to summer camp. That's very difficult to do when our Webelos cross over in May. That is why our program nationally is actually set up to have our Boy Scouts cross over and join a Boy Scout troop in February. As a matter of fact, that's when our blue and golds typically should be occurring, is in February. And the blue and gold is quite simply a celebration of Scouting's anniversary. So for some reason, a lot of our packs have been moving their blue and golds into the end of the program year in May and April and using it as a celebration of the completion of the Cub Scout year. And that is not the intent. We need to migrate and gravitate back towards a February blue and gold with a crossover into Boy Scouts occurring in February, having earned the Arrow of Light at that time. So even if you hold your blue and gold later on, if you're a Cub Scout pack and you hold it in April or May, certainly encourage and get your Boy Scout, your Webelos to cross over to Boy Scouts. They can always come back and join your blue and gold and be recognized and celebrated later. But let's make sure that our Webelos are getting into our troops early enough so that they can go on some camping trips, so that the leadership of the troop becomes familiar, the parents become familiar, and the scout himself becomes comfortable with the troop, and it has time to get signed up for summer camp, and we'll go to summer camp because we know they'll stay in Boy Scouts longer. So that's the Webelo-to-Scout transition program. Not a lot of change in our new Cub Scout program and the webinars. We've been seeing that process remains fairly consistent, but we'll let you know at future Fireside Chats if anything changes. Up next, we've invited Tom Kudelik to talk to us a little bit about our spring exploring programs for our teenagers, boys and girls, 14 through 21, that have interest in various careers. And I wanted Tom to take a minute to talk to us about that. So, Tom.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Kudelik. I'm the Exploring Executive here at the Mid-America Council. For those of you that don't know what exploring is, I'm going to touch on that real quick, and then I'm going to cover an example of our exploring programs and what we're creating right now, and then I'm going to touch on our upcoming spring programs that we have coming up. We have 3 new programs and 3 existing ones, and I want to tell you how to register for them so you can take part in those programs. So, as Eric just mentioned, it's a program for boys and girls ages 14 to 20 to find out what their career interests are. We do that through our career interest survey. Over 25 high schools in the Omaha area. We find out where their career interests lie, and then we find volunteers to help run these programs for our youth. An example of our program that we are creating currently, in our top 10 career interest survey, we always have education in the top 10. So we're creating a program between UNO and Creighton where we're going to have a 6-week program for students to learn about that. So we're going to have that coming up here next fall. That's kind of the creation process. Last year we ran 37 exploring posts and served over 16,000 youth. So for our upcoming spring programs, we have 3 new programs that we're excited to mention here. We have our Douglas County Police CSIA program, which is registration is already open for this program, so I'd recommend signing up for it. It will cap at 40 students. We have an engineering program coming up with Lamper Nearson Engineering Firm. And we also have a nursing program, which is exciting because that's in our top 10 most popular career fields as well for youth in Omaha. So that will be filling up quickly as well. So I recommend signing up for those programs. We also have 3 returning spring programs, UNO Sports Marketing Program, our journalism program with Omaha World Herald, and we have our UNL Durham Engineering Program, which is one of our more popular programs with 60 students in it. To register for these programs, you can go to our website, www.omahaexploring.org, and you can find us and like us on Facebook, Exploring Omaha, Nebraska. So those are upcoming programs, and I think I'm going to pass it on to John to talk a little bit about ICC.
Thank you, Tom. Well, the Investment in Character campaign is underway, and that's our annual giving campaign where we give individuals across the community, businesses, and also ask each of our families in Scouting to support the program for the coming year. I do want to touch on a couple highlights from how the campaign is going thus far. First of all, I'd like to recognize the Thundercloud District, which is leading the way at 16% of their goal already, so they're doing very well. Also, the Wagon Wheel District has had 5 presentations, and in 4 of them, the unit has already exceeded their goal for this year. So as they continue along and get payments for that, we have a number of units that will be looking at reaching our unit incentive this year, which will allow them to have 10% of their payments go into their UPPA account to support all the great things that they're doing for their unit. So the Investment in Character campaign is a crucial part of the raising of the funds that we need to offer the great opportunities that we promise our families that we're going to have throughout the scouting process. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. Thanks.
Next. Show us how with Sheila. For those of you on the phone, check out our YouTube cast of Fireside Chat. You can see all the cool stuff that Sheila holds up as she gets her showing down.
Greetings, everyone. On this wonderful winter day, we have a lot of ideas for you and your family to work on. Since we do have the snow, we have games. We have our new family game set of 10 games. It's got chess, all kinds of things, backgammon. This is a great gift, and it's fun to have at your house. It's only $14.99. It has a really nice wooden box to keep it in. So we've got all kinds of fun things you can use this winter. Don't forget, we have all kinds of wooden crafts and leather crafts. So we have things to keep the kids busy, and you can join in too and have some fun. Blue and gold is coming up in the crossover time, so don't forget we have all of your blue and gold supplies. We have plates, cups, decorations, all kinds of great things to make your blue and gold worthwhile. And you can check those out when you're coming in to get all of your awards. We look forward to seeing who can have the most awards. It's kind of a fun thing to see which units really come in are successful. And some of the things that everyone is not aware of is we do have several larger certificates that you can use at your blue and gold. I just have a few here with the Arrow Light certificate. We have the Webelos pins, the Super Achievers, and then there's also just like a congratulations on passing and moving up into your next rank. So don't forget all kinds of certificates and gifts for people and kids. Leaders, we have gifts for a lot of the leaders too. Some of the specials going on that just started today. T-shirt weather is around the corner, so don't forget we have great T-shirts. The red, white, blue T-shirts went on sale this week and through the rest of the month for only $5.99. So if you need some great T-shirts, we have them in a couple of different styles. And then all of the new T-shirts will be coming in and ready for spring. There's some really great designs. There's a great one for the moms that's coming in. That's a red shirt like that. We have all kinds of things getting ready for camp season, so start checking out our camp stuff. We've got a lot of kids in looking at backpacks. It's never too soon to start getting your plans made and trying them out and see which one works the best. So be sure and come and see us, and don't forget Scout Sunday is this weekend, and we still have patches that you can give to the kids and a few neckerchiefs left. Thanks, and come see us.
Thank you, Sheila. Good job, as usual. I wanted to talk briefly about Journey to Excellence at the council level. We've been talking about Journey to Excellence for our PAX troops, crews, and districts, but I wanted to talk briefly about it at the council level. We have 17 requirements in 2014. We will have 18 requirements in 2015. They've added one, and we did achieve the status of gold last year. So congratulations to everybody, because it's a collective effort of our 7,000 registered leaders, our 20,000 scouts and families that are involved in the Mid-America Council across our 58 counties. So the great news is we are actually a bona fide, real deal, sealed up gold council, solidly gold council. So great job, everybody. Well done. What does that mean? Well, that means that we're in the top 10% in terms of performance measurements, top 10% in the country of close to 300 councils in the country. We're in the top 10% of those. And what happens is every year the bar goes up a little bit as councils are more successful. The gold bar standard in theory rises. Although if measurements are declining, then in theory the bar would then decline. So it's a moving target, not a fixed improvement scorecard. So that's great news. We were gold this year. A couple of highlights in there is our youth retention has gone up again. Last year we were up 9%. This year we're up 4%, again, on top of the 9 from last year. That tells me what? Unparalleled experiences for more youth. We have a quality program, and we have scouts and our families are wanting to stay and enjoy and continue in our program. That's quite simply what that means. They're not voting with their feet in our organization. But I will tell you that we still have far too many scout families that join us at a fall sign-up night and never hear from us. We hear stories of that all the time. They never get to a meeting, they never get followed up with, they never get an invitation, and they never get a scouting experience. And we have a lot of families that just decide to leave because of quality of experience. So that's a constant, and I know Steve and his commissioner staff, and I know our professional staff and all our volunteers are working on that unparalleled experience, because we want folks to stay when they join. Cub Scout advancement is up about 9% over last year, which again tells me that our Cub Scouts are enjoying the experiences that they're getting, and that we've been focusing on that unparalleled experience for Cub Scouts. Our Boy Scout advancement is also up by about 1% over last year. So again, that's a good sign that our Boy Scouts are enjoying the programs as well. And Steve's done a great job with his commissioner staff on his unit visitations. That's up significantly over last year, about 9% over last year, and doing a great job in building that commissioner staff. And we're thrilled to have Steve continue as our council commissioner as we transition to a new board leadership with Bob Dalrymple as our council chairman and Drew Blossom as our council president. So that's a quick update for you on JTE. I will tell you this, though, that if you're interested in finding out more about Journey to Excellence, you can visit this website, which I will put on the camera here, and you can see it, and I'll read it for those on the phone. You can visit scouting.org/JTE. You can do so also by going in and viewing your own dashboards for your unit or for your district or council, depending upon your volunteer level, at your myscouting.org account, and signing up and viewing various JTE dials and metrics there. So that's what I wanted to share on Journey to Excellence. I will now open it up to questions, comments, true confessions, or any rumors that I can confirm or deny for you. Anybody on the phone have anything for us today? Okay, hearing none. Again, we appreciate folks taking time to call in, and we certainly appreciate those that view the webcast online after the fact. Please encourage and urge your leaders and parents to view this. This is where you get all the latest, greatest, along with roundtables. So we appreciate next Fireside Chat, Monday, March 2nd at noon. We'll get a reminder out to our volunteers that that opportunity is available. And thanks for all you do for scouting, and we'll see you on the scouting trail.